Hello, my name is Ivar Theorin, and I'm going to tell you about my project, The Wonderful Visit to Oz. So, for my thesis, I've been working with how to induce awe in exhibitions and how to use scale and aspects of biophilic design to make memorable experiences. In 2025, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, the book, is going to turn 125 years old. And the New York Public Library is collaborating with Park Avenue Armory to create an immersive interpretation of the book to celebrate. New York Public Library has a mission to support lifelong learning to strengthen communities, and that's what we're focusing on in this project. The venue is the Park Avenue Armory, and working with awe, what could be better than the Wade Thompson Drill Hall, 5,000 square feet of uncolumned space. And it also doesn't hurt that the building has a facade that already looks like a fairy tale castle when we're working on a project about a storybook. For the audience, we're choosing an intergenerational audience to really drive home that lifelong learning at any age, and the relationship between grandparents and grandchildren is such an important one, so that really will help strengthen communities. For our goals, this learning at any age is really at the focus, but we also want to reposition the New York Public Library with this more interpretive approach to literature. So we're going to be looking at the story of Dorothy's journey, and we're going to be doing it in the lens of a hero's journey. And also what we really want to emphasize in this project is that we're all heroes on our own journey, but no one can do it alone. So the visitor is going to be the journey, be the hero in the story, and we're going to bring them along on an adventure. So what is a hero's journey? So it's a call to adventure. Some sort of problem has arisen, and the hero must go out into the unknown and face a quest. And during the quest, you will meet friends, you will receive help, and at some point along the way, you have to face the fear that you have to overcome to solve that problem. And then when you've found that magical potion, gained that knowledge, you bring it home to your community, and you resolve the issue that was started the quest in the first place. So this is laying out in the floor plan of the Park Avenue Armory in a sequential order the typical hero's journey, and here is translating it into a exhibition floor plan, and we're going to see in our walkthrough how we move through these spaces. In my research into biophilic design and how to induce awe, it quickly came clear that it's the transition between different modes that are really important. If you do the same thing and hope to induce awe, you're going to fail, because you get tired and you need to have a rhythm to the exhibition experience. So that's what I've been trying to create here, where we have some moments of high engagement, some anticipation, and then all of a sudden you get that awe feeling, and then you get some relaxation before you sort of build up the tension again. And also, if we look at this axon view, what I wanted to do was to not just have a flat floor plan. I wanted to include some different levels to really be able to use these principles of biophilic design. So you can see that there's a raised platform towards the back, and an even higher one here, the dark area where the witch's castle is. For the graphic identity and the logo, I was deeply inspired by the idea of the yellow brick road. It's such a strong image, and I used it for the logo and also for this brick pattern, and then was able to translate it into different colorways and have it be a theme that ties the whole exhibition together. For the typography, I chose to keep it simple, wanted to keep it modern, but also using, for quotes, a serif font just to bring in a little bit of that storybook feeling. Here we see the whole graphic look and feel put together, and then specifically we're using a lot of the original Denslow drawings, both in full color and as outlines. When visitors approach the exhibition, they will be drawn into the armory with this yellow brick road floor graphic, leads visitors into the building, past this welcome mural, and then into the check-in area where they receive their RFID bracelet. And this is going to be used throughout the exhibition to activate interactives, and you also get the chance to, on certain interactives, save what you have done there onto a profile that you can later revisit on a post-visit website. The first gallery visitors come to is the Book Rotunda, where a single first edition copy of the book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, is on display. And to really separate the book out and have it be this unique object in this big gallery is to really drive home the point that anything you see from this point on is going to be inspired by this book. In the Call to Adventure gallery on the left-hand side, we have a mural that compares all the different events in the story of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz with the template of an archetypal hero's journey story. And on the right-hand side, we can see that there is a facilitated team building exercise, and we really want visitors to go into this experience with the collaborative mindset. Anyone who is in this experience is there with you. You can ask them for help. They might ask you for help, and you should be willing to lend a hand. And before we go any further, Dorothy will be at this entrance before you sort of enter the magical land, and she's telling you, I've been to Oz, it was a great time, now you're going to go on your own adventure. I'm sending Toto with you, and wherever you see Toto's face in this little yellow circle is where you're going to have an interactive that you can engage with. And the transition into Oz will be through the Cyclone Theater. So visitors go into this room, there's a scrim on the back wall that has back projection, a store moves in, fan starts blowing, a tornado moves in, and soon you are engulfed in the tornado, and at the climax, the house gets lifted out of the space, and this is your transition from the regular world into the magical realm of adventure. The lights come back on, and this is when we transition into Oz, where we see that it's a quite different world, much more saturated, and we're working with a lot of patterns, and we meet our first companion, the Scarecrow, and we can see this is part of the biophilic design to induce a little bit of mystery by having scrim that both reveal but also obscure, and you have to move through the space to see what lies ahead. Here we also meet one of the first of several Leave Your Comments stations where visitors can reflect right up the bat on what it means to be a hero, what is the meaning of the story, what do the different characters mean. And they use the RFID bracelet to activate the interactive, and then they can leave their comment and they can choose to show it on the big screen, or they can save it to the profile to access later via the website. The next companion you meet is the Tin Woodman, and here is an interactive with a little oil can where the rusted Tin Man stands frozen, and once he gets his joints oiled, he starts to move. And the next companion is the Cowardly Lion. It's an inflatable lion on a platform, and you have the chance to pump up his courage, and the more participants you can have, the more he's going to grow, and finally when he's fully inflated, he's going to roar. And from this, we move on up a ramp to the left. You can see on the left, smaller inset image, and we're moving up the ramp, and this is really to build that anticipation for what's coming next. So the ramp gets the lights gets dimmer, and the curtains, the scrim is getting closer in on you, and then you can see the light at the end, and then it suddenly opens up, and you have the grand vista across the poppy field with the Emerald City in the background. This is meant to be really that awe-inspiring moment. And here is, up until this point, we've had a pretty sequential experience, and here is where it opens up and visitors really have a choice to choose what they want to engage with. So you can have something more dynamic, like the climbing wall, or collaborating to cross the river on the raft, or you can sit down in the middle and read a book and just relax for a little bit. And this is also where the facilitators in our audience segment, we're thinking that with this audience, there's going to be a lot of facilitators and a lot of explorers, that if you're a facilitator, you can sit down here, you can relax, but you can still see the people, your charges. If you're a grandparent, your grandchildren might be running around, but you have full sight lines to see where they're at. And from the poppy field, you move into the Emerald City, where you meet Oz. And this is a full room, immersive projection experience where all surfaces have projected images, and Oz appears in different manifestations, and is telling you to go. I will help you to get back, but in order to do so, you must defeat the Wicked Witch of the West. So now you have met your companions, and you have received your quest, and now you must go and face your fear. So to reach the witch's castle, you must go through the scary forest, and then you reach the castle. And in the book, the way the witch is defeated is by throwing a bucket of water on her. Here I have translated into more of a carnival type activity with water cannons, and visitors can team up and they can shoot water in the witch's mouth, and her head grows. There's a balloon that grows and then finally pops, and that's how you defeat the witch. And from here we move on, and in the movie the flying monkeys are all team witch, but in the book they're actually being forced to obey the witch. So when the witch is defeated, then they're all sudden free and they can help out. And here they're helping the visitors go back on the flying monkey zip line back to the Emerald City. Or if you don't want to take the zip line, then you can go back and walk through a friendly forest where the trees are transformed, the spell is broken, and now they're, instead of being threatening and angry, they are smiling and dancing. Then you go back into the Emerald City, where you reveal Oz as a fraud. He's saying, I will still take you back to your home using my balloon. And you have an interactive projection where the balloon is hovering right in front of you, but when you get close, it will drift away. All seems lost, but then you turn the corner, meet the Good Witch of the South, and she says, you have had the option to go home at any time. Just click your heels 3 times, and you can be done with your adventure. So then you go back sort of to the regular world. We see that it's a different feeling again, and here you can sum up your visit in another Leave Your Comment station. And then the exit is through the same book rotunda where you went in, to really drive home that message that everything you've seen so far on this adventure has all been inspired by the text in this tiny book in the display case. And for post-visit, on the RFID bracelet you have a unique code, and if you punch that in on the website on the post-visit tab, then you can get an interactive map of the exhibition, and wherever you see Toto's face is where you can click on it and you can revisit what you did in that particular spot. So if you left a comment, it will show up here, and then you can leave a new comment, or you can go and see what other people have reflected. And this website is run by the New York Public Library, so from here you can find a branch, or you can sign up for a library card right from the website. And that's my exhibition. Thank you so much.